It's time for the jug, bitches. Buckle up. I'm going in. Alright. Undeniable, boys. It's right here. 1000 armor accuracy rating, 1% increased attack speed per 200 accuracy rating. 30% increased accuracy rating if you've dealt a critical strike in the past 8 seconds. 30% increased damage if you've dealt a critical strike in the past 8 seconds. Gain accuracy rating equal to your strength. I mean, it's a weird conditioned node that just doesn't do a whole lot without like major scaling. You can scale it pretty high up, but I don't know. Let's see the other things. 10% movement speed, cannot be stunned. What do you know? Cannot be slowed to below base speed. Movement speed cannot be modified to below base value. Okay. Whatever. No, 5 and 6. Unbreakable. 2% life regenerated per second. 5% reduced damage taken. Armor received from body armor is doubled. 1.5% of total physical damage prevented from hits in the past 10 seconds is regenerated as life per second. 1.5% of total physical damage prevented from hits in the past 10 seconds is regenerated as life per second. Isn't that ridiculous? What does it mean by prevented? Blocked? Or is this actually mitigated? Is this mitigated? That seems insane. I don't know. We'd have to do some major math on that, but that seems really ridiculous. More to call a billion regen. I mean, I wouldn't go that far, but it's only 1.5% of total physical damage prevented. So if you've got a bunch of armor, you get hit for 3. Let's say you get hit for 1000. It's not that much regen, you guys. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I don't know, it's one of those nodes that can help you out with like more difficult fights. But for the most part, it is 10 seconds though, so yeah. Unflinching, which is 8, which is here. It's the middle one. 30% chance to gain an endurance charge when you are hit. 25% chance that if you would gain endurance charges, you instead gain up to maximum number of endurance charges. Gain an endurance charge every second if you've been hit recently. Okay, +1 maximum endurance charges. Okay, so I kind of like this, what they did here a lot. Like, this is the right way of doing it, not what they did with Necromancer, where the Convocation node really shouldn't be the middle one, but whatever. I like it. Unyielding! 5% increased damage per endurance charge, 5% increased area of effect per endurance charge. Wow. 25% chance to gain an endurance charge when you stun an enemy, 10% increased stun duration on enemies per endurance charge. Unrelenting, 1% additional physical damage reduction per endurance charge. 8% reduced elemental damage taken while at maximum endurance charges, +4 chaos resistance per endurance charge. Question is, how far can you take Undeniable, really? %30 increased damage if you dealt a critical strike in the past 8 seconds, 30% increased accuracy rating if you dealt a critical strike, 1% increased attack speed per 200 accuracy. I can't really take it that far. Let's say you can get 20k, right? Realistically. It's 40% attack speed. Like, Unstoppable is really rarely a factor. Unbreakable I fear that it's not gonna be useful when it needs to be useful, outside of the armor and reduced damage taken. I don't know why the fuck it has 2% life regen, but I mean, I guess they tossed it in there. So, if you were to make a thing, then you pretty much have to stack it, right? Because Unrelenting is just whatever, honestly. Unyielding is pretty good. But is it good enough to like compete for stun with Slayer? Isn't Slayer like super OP stun now? The area is useful. The increased damage is barely a factor. It's like the equivalence of 2 attack damage nodes. I mean, people have been trying to build around the endurance surges for the longest time, but we just don't have stuff to really support it for right now. Let's say you just get 100 attack speed with this class, right? You just get 100 attack speed. Let's say that this just gives you 100 attack speed no matter what, and then you pair it up with all of these other things. Would I play this over Gladiator? Probably not. Would I play this over Slayer? Probably not. Alright. Well, this one's quite complicated. It's the same layout, right? Yeah, it's the same layout. Same rules apply. Okay, so... Witch. Enemies, Occultist. Enemies can have 1 additional curse. 10% increased effect of your curses. 1.5% of energy shield regenerated per second. Cannot be stunned while you have energy shield. Wow. That's really strong. Elementalist. Damage penetrates 10% of elemental resistance. Cannot take reflected elemental damage. We were expecting this. 40% increased effect of heralds on you. Hey. Shocks from your hits always increase damage taken by at least 10%. Can summon up to 1 additional golem at a time. I mean, it's way better than what it was. It's okay. It's okay. Not crazy, but pretty good still. Occultist is fucking nice. Necromancer, 20% skill effect duration. Minions deal 30% increased damage. Your offering skills also affect you. Your offering skills have 50% reduced effect on you. Auras you grant increase 3% increased attack speed and cast speed to you and allies. It's better than what it was. It's still okay. We gotta see how it pairs up with other things. It's definitely better than what it was. Path of the Witch. Okay, nothing there. Sam better than Necro? I mean, it's not. But it's okay. Unless there's other things here. We're gonna find out. Marauder Chieftain. 2% life regenerated per second. 10% increased strength. 1% of damage dealt by your totems is leached to you as life. 10% chance to cover rare or unique enemy in Ash for 10 seconds on hit. Pretty respectable. Wow. Chieftain's strong too. 10% strength, 1% leech off your totems. And you get the single target too? Damn. That's strong. Okay, what about Berserker? God damn it, this broken scroll. 5% increased damage taken. 10% more damage, 2% of attack damage leashed as life and mana if you've killed recently. Grant 1 rage when you kill an enemy. Cannot be stunned while you have at least 25 rage. What? Damn! Okay, Berserker's really good too. Damn! They're fucking popping off here. Alright, so far we're looking not so bad. Guardian, 25% reduced effect of curses on you, auras you cast grant 1% physical damage reduction to you and allies, 10% increased effect of non-curse auras you cast, every 5 seconds 20% of maximum of life regenerated over 1 second. You and nearby ally members share power charges, friends charges, and endurance charges with each other. Okay, yeah, not too many changes, but yeah, it's looking good. I mean, it is stronger. Inquisitor! Oh no! Bring back my Inquisitor. Inquisitor, 30% critical strike multiplier against enemies that are affected by elemental ailments. Damage penetrates 6% of enemy elemental resistance. 10% chance to create consecrated ground when you hit a rare or unique enemy. Immune to elemental elements when on consecrated ground. Nearby enemies take 10% increased elemental damage. I mean, it's stronger. Oh, I missed the jug. Juggernaut, 1000 accuracy, cannot be chilled, cannot be stunned, 5% increased damage per endurance charge. Gain endurance charge every second if you've been hit recently. Wow. Anyway, moving on. Hierophant, 25% increased maximum mana. Can have up to 1 additional totem summoned at a time. 8% of damage is taken from mana before life. Gain Arcane Surge when you or your totem hit an enemy with a spell. 20% increased spell damage while you have Arcane Surge. Damn! Hierophant is nutty now too. It's just a global totem increase. And it's 8% MOM. Damn! That's pretty strong too. Shadow. Trickster, 15% chance to get a frenzy charge and a power charge on kill. Starts off pretty good. 50% increased recovery if you've killed recently by your damage over time. Your hits have 15% chance to gain 50% of non-chaos damage as extra chaos damage. Okay, that's like reasonable. Cannot be stunned if you haven't been hit recently. Okay. And 50 mana regenerated per second. That's strong. That's probably... I mean, it all boils down to like pairs of things. But I'd say so far... it's like Occultist, then Hierophant, then Trickster. I don't know, the Chieftain's so strong too. Duelist? No. One more. Assassin and Saboteur. Assassin, 1% to critical strike chance. Haha. Get fucked, Assassin idiot. 10% chance to gain a power charge on critical strike. 40% chance to poison on hit. Legion changes are coming. 10% increased movement speed if you've killed recently. Damage from your critical strikes cannot be reflected. Oh, okay. I mean, it's decent. Saboteur, 30% increased area of effect. Wow. Damage penetrates 6% of enemy elemental resistance. Wow, what a amazing trap / mine class. 1% life regenerated per second for each of your mines detonated recently, up to 20%. 1% of life regenerated per second for each of your traps triggered recently, up to 20%. 25% chance to blind enemy hit. Literally, Saboteur on Ascendant is better than fucking Saboteur in general for traps. Nice game, GGG. Mines are better on regular Saboteur, but for traps, this shit's pretty fucking good. Paired up with a bunch of the other stuff, it's okay. If you play a trapper, you're gonna be playing Ascendant, just by the way. Duelist! Slayer, Culling Strike, 20% increased damage while leeching. Life leech effects are not removed at full life. 20% increased area of effect if you've killed recently. Cannot take reflected physical damage? Yikers! That's really strong too. Champion, 10% chance to fortify on melee hit. Enemies you taunt take 10% increased damage. 25% chance to taunt on hit. Your hits permanently intimidate enemies that are on full life. You and nearby allies have 8% movement speed? Damn! Champion's like fucking better than Berserker for damage output. What? Fortify for free. Pretty much 100% of the time. 10% multiplier. 25% chance to taunt. And you get the fucking intimidate too. 20% multiplier for attack builds. It's pretty sick. Gladiator, 50% chance of block applied to spells, +3 to maximum block chance. Attacks have 25% chance to cause bleeding, 10% chance to blind with hits against bleeding enemies. 15% more damage with bleeding. You know, that's not my favorite ascendancy. I'll be open about that. Alright, time for Ranger. 10% increased movement speed during any flask effect. This is Pathfinder. 10% increased attack speed during any flask effect. Flask gain 3 charges every 3 seconds. Damage penetrates 6% of enemy elemental resistances. 50% chance for your flask to not consume charges. Yeah, that's like really bad. Like really bad. Wow, that is fucking awful. Wow, that is so bad. Unless it means like each flask effect that you have active increases your attack speed and movement speed by this? Like, what? That's really bad. Raider, 20% attack speed, attack damage, 10% increased movement speed. 4% chance to dodge attacks. You have onslaught while you're on full frenzy charges. Oh, that's nice. 10% chance to gain a frenzy charge when you hit a rare or unique enemy. Yeah, that's pretty bad too. Wow. You're bad. You missed an E there. Deadeye. 100% increased accuracy rating. Projectiles pierce 2 additional targets. Moving while bleeding doesn't cause you to take extra damage. Projectiles gain damage as they travel further, dealing up to 50% increased damage with hits to targets. Skills fire an additional projectile. Alright, Deadeye looking good, at least. Yeah. Deadeye looking okay. Raider and Pathfinder are fucking dog shit. Gladiator's pretty bad, but like feasible. Champion is crazy. Occultist is through the roof. Occultist, Hierophant, Champion, Slayer, Chieftain, I'd say are pretty nuts. Trickster, yeah, Trickster's pretty good. I mean, Trickster's got a lot of really great things. It's just that these are things that are very situational. It's kind of hard to like make them work well. Like the hits, the non-chaos, the extra damage is really not that impactful. Not nearly as much as that other bullshit. The regen is great. The free frenzy and power charges is gonna be great for utility. Cannot be stunned is nice. The mana is great. Like it's great, but it's like, you know, it's fine. Like I can live with it. It can be very powerful on certain things. But Occultist, I don't know. I guess it's the same thing. Everything's godlike. For very specific things, it's very powerful. Like Chieftain for totems, or Champion for attack builds, or Elementalist for... or sorry, Occultist for... like... anything. Occultist is great. Hierophant is nuts. Extra totem, 8% mana before life, 25% mana. Gain Arcane Surge when you or your totem hit an enemy with a spell. It's fucking nuts. Necromancer is pretty good too. This champion. Enemies you taunt take 10% increased damage. Your nearby allies. Your hits permanently intimidate enemies that are on full life. Yeah, it's like, I don't know, Necromancer champion, anybody? That's pretty fucking good. Okay, the thing that I'm most interested in, I guess, Summon Phantasm on kill, my dudes. Support skills that can hit enemies or create minions. Support skills that can hit enemies or create minions. When those skills or minions kill enemies, they will have a chance to summon a Phantasm minion, which is a piercing projectile spell that deals physical damage. This is a level 20 gem. Naturally. 79% chance to summon a Phantasm when supported skill or non-Phantasm minion from supported skill deal a killing blow. Can have up to 10 Phantasms at a time. Phantasms last 15 seconds. So I guess they were lasting 10 seconds before. So I guess the quality is increased to Phantasm durations. It's like 0.4 or something. Okay. 10 at a time, 79% chance to spawn. I was hoping that it's gonna be like 15 maximum or something. I'm just afraid that if you're killing too fast, that they're gonna keep spawning and they're not really gonna get an opportunity to do anything. But I guess you can kind of make it work with certain setups like nulls or maybe... I don't know, like combinations of abilities. Maybe like your zombies kill something every now and then. Because attaching them to specters is definitely going to mean that it's going to just spawn a million of them, and yeah, that's kind of tough. Spectro Shield Throw! So this is a 2020 gem, which is, because we've already seen the info previously about it, you can pause the stream and read up more if you want. Base offhand critical strike chance is 5%, 0.01 to critical strike chance per 10 maximum energy shield on shield, which is pretty good. Shard projectiles deal 25% less damage. It doesn't go down. 132 to 198 base offhand physical damage. 2 to 3 added physical damage per 15 armor or evasion rating on shield. Base offhand attack time is 0.6 seconds. Fires 8 additional projectiles, 20% increased projectile damage. Okay, so the quality is projectile damage. Fires 8 additional projectiles, that's normal. I don't get it. What does it get with levels? Just damage? That's it? No less damage? Less damage? It's just increased base offhand physical damage? That's it? That's it? I mean, I guess I'm okay with that. Slow as fuck? It's fast as fuck. What are you talking about? Yeah, I mean, that's good. I'm a little bit surprised. I thought it's gonna go down to 15 or something, but I guess that would make it quite OP. I mean, it is quite a bit of damage. Per 15 armor or evasion, so if you've got like a juicy shield, it's basically like a regular spell in terms of damage. Like a 2000 armor shield, for instance. It's pretty okay. Anyway, Tectonic Slam. Fire, fire, attack, AoE, melee. Melee. Slam the ground with your weapon, unleashing a fiery fissure in front of you, dealing area damage and releasing a random number of smaller fissures branching off from it. Huh. I feel like I've read that somewhere before. I think it starts with S and ends with under. If you have endurance charges, one will be consumed, maximizing the number of fissures. Requires a mace, sword, axe, staff, or unarmed. Yes. 60% of physical damage converted to fire. 160 base damage on a 2020 gem, mind you. 10% increased area of effect, probably the quality. Deals 18% more damage if an endurance charge was consumed. I mean, the damage is pretty high. If you have endurance charges, one will be consumed, maximizing the number of fissures. It's like a... It's literally Sunder that uses endurance charges. It doesn't branch out or anything. I mean, it has like a little bit of a different area. Tectonic Jug. I think you're better off using EQ. I mean... How about that Chieftain action, huh? Chieftain? Oh, I know a great class that would be amazing with this. Trickster. It's conversion, right? So Trickster. That's what you're gonna play with it. Okay, so there's a new Herald of Ash. New. It's still Herald of Ash, but it does seem a little bit unclear. To me, at least. So it's Herald of Ash. Same exact tag. Spell, AoE, fire, Herald, duration. Except now... I think the wording on the thing is... Wait, grants a buff providing fire damage based on your physical damage. While you have this buff, if you kill an enemy, other enemies near them will be burned based on the overkill damage. The burn inflicted by the skill can only be affected by modifiers to damage over time. Burning damage is damage over time. And so, base duration is 4 seconds. I understand that that's the duration of the burn. Gain 15% of your physical damage as extra fire damage, which was always the case, regardless of the levels of the gem. And then it's got 15 increased fire damage, which is new. Wait, no, that's the quality, right? Then it's got 38 more burning damage, which is a confusing part because that's what it's had before, right? I'm pretty sure. And so, I'm pretty sure that's local. Yeah, 38 more burning damage. So this seems to be local to the Overkill Ignite itself. And the new stuff is 12% more spell fire damage, which is really awkward. But sure. And then base burning damage is 25% of Overkill damage. I mean, I guess I understand it. They wanted to make it work with the new Elementalist, obviously, and they're buffing Ignites, by the way. You heard it here. But it's like 12% more spell fire damage specifically. It's a little bit awkward. And 12? What's such an odd number? 12? Really? Is that supposed to be like the average equivalent scaling of the other Heralds? I mean, that doesn't seem to make too much sense to me. It would make more sense if the more burning damage was global, but it's probably not gonna be. That would be a little bit ridiculous.